Okay, this is going to be a quick video to show you how to use the Hospitable integration with TouchStay. The first part of the process is to connect your Hospitable account to TouchStay. So first you'll go to Integrations, scroll to Hospitable, and click Connect. From here you'll be prompted to log into Hospitable, so go ahead and do that. And now we're going to request permissions to access your data in Hospitable. This just allows the flow of data to and from Hospitable and TouchStay. Go ahead and authorize this. And now that that's done, we're redirected back to TouchStay, and you can see the integration is now active. So the next step is to establish the relationship between your properties in Hospitable and then guides that exist in TouchStay. First, so you'll do that starting with the match process. If you already have a guide in TouchStay that you want to match to a property in Hospitable, it's as simple as matching them here. So the Pie House guide here in TouchStay is going to match to the Pie House property in Hospitable. So I'm just going to click Match Selected. Matching is for when you have an existing guide that you want to match a property to. Importing is when you have a property in Hospitable that does not yet have a guide in TouchStay. So if I wanted to create a guide for this cozy brick home in downtown, I would just check it and click Import Selected, and that would automatically create a new guide for me. Okay, so now we've told the integration that the guide name Pie House belongs to the listing, the Pie House in Hospitable. So next, now that we've established that relationship, we can map custom fields and data that exist in Hospitable into TouchStay. Let's try that. So we've got some fields that exist at the reservation level, some fields that exist at the property level. Just for the sake of this demo, we'll do, say, the booking code as a reservation level field example. So we need to create a new custom field for it, and we'll call it Hospitable Booking Code. And we'll save that. Okay. And you can also, so this is, you can see this is a user or a guest custom field, but you could also create something that's more along, that's tied to the actual property. So like pets allowed, for example. We're going to say this is a guide custom field. So again, this is not attached to a reservation. This is attached to the actual property. So you can make it a topic customization, or you can make it just a guide custom field, which is what we'll do for this example. We need to create one for that. So we'll call it okay, save. So now we've got a guide custom field and a reservation or a user custom field set up. And what this does basically is on a schedule, TouchStay will reach out to Hospitable and look for any updates to these fields. So they can, and you can use these custom fields like this Hospitable booking code, for example, that short code, you can use that in your guide. Okay, and if maybe you've changed something in Hospitable and you don't see that change reflected yet in TouchStay in regards to these fields, you can use the Resync Guide Data button here. Okay, so we've established a relationship between guides and properties. We've talked about some custom data mapping. Let's talk about the real fun part, and that is the synchronization part of this integration. And that's where this really becomes the most useful. Because what happens, what this is you have the ability to turn on or off synchronization for reservations. So whatever property you have imported or matched, like the Pie House in this example, I can set this to synchronize reservations. So whenever a new reservation comes in Hospitable, so maybe that's from Airbnb or VRBO or wherever, it'll automatically, once it's a confirmed booking, it'll automatically get imported into TouchStay and a unique guide invitation link will be created. This invitation link is then sent back to Hospitable. So you can use Hospitable for your guest communications and you can distribute the link to them that way. Or you can, of course, you can use TouchStay's memo system for that as well. But right now we're going to talk about how you initiate that reservation synchronization. So I'll select the property or the guide that I want to synchronize reservations for. And you'll see I also have a choice between all bookings or new bookings. So all bookings is going to look into the past, and it's going to pull in every reservation that is not yet checked out. New reservations will only pull in reservations from this moment forward. So it's an important distinction there. For this, again, just for the purposes of demo, I'm going to select all bookings and then click sync selected. So this should reach out to Hospitable and grab whatever reservations exist for the pie house. And we can go from there, and I'll show you what happens next. Also, if this task, you'll see that runs with a progress bar. If you save and the progress bar is just moving too slow and it's holding you up, feel free to navigate away. The task will keep running in the background and it'll finish whether you're on the screen or not. Let's go see if we have any reservations imported. So as a shortcut, I'll just hop over to Memo and click on Invitations. This gives me a list of all the invitations created for all guides currently. And look at that. We do have reservations or invitation created for several different guests at the Pie House. You can look here, you can see that it's automatically imported their name, email, phone number, their stay dates. And look there's that custom field that we just created, the Hospitable booking code, and it's populated. That's great. So from here, you have a unique link for this invitation. You can copy it here, or like I said, you could use Memo to distribute that link. But let's talk about how this becomes useful in Hospitable. So let's hop over to our Hospitable dashboard and go to the guest experience. And again, I'm just illustrating how this all works, how you can use that URL in your Hospitable communications. So we get a messaging rules, and I'm just going to open up sort of a random pick here message. So new reservation. You can see I've already added the guidebook link here, but let's talk about how that happens. So this guidebook shortcode here, right here, that holds the TouchStay guidebook URL. And in order to add it to a message, it's actually pretty simple. This is how you add it. And then you type a percentage symbol, and then you can start typing guidebook. Oh, and there it is. We can select it. And it's really that simple. And this is how you would add the guest specific guidebook link into your messaging in Hospitable. And let's see a little preview of this, because they have a great feature that allows you to see what it's going to look like for an individual reservation. Let's take one of our test reservations that we just made. And look. So here you go. Here's how. Well, of course, you see me. I've already put it in here twice, so it looks silly to have it in there twice. But just for the point of illustration, so you can see where it appears, that shortcode is populated with the invitation link from TouchStay. So if I were to say take that link and copy and paste it, we'll see what happens. Hey, look at that. So now this is the invitation link for that specific guest. So that's basically it. That's the long and short of the Hospitable and TouchStay integration. And if you have any questions, please reach out to our support.